Hey guys, Koukun here, coming at you with another video about real estate investing. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my most recent purchase. It's a property that I'm closing on this Friday, and by the time you're watching this, it'll probably be already past the closing date. And just want to share some of my experiences going through this process. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Koukun, and in this channel, we talk about real estate investing, career building, as well as money management. If those are of interest to you, consider subscribing. So one thing I want to share, and I want to be honest here, I portray myself, especially in these videos, especially when I talk to my clients, as a sort of expert when it comes to real estate investing. I've been an investor for the last 7 years. I've gone through my fair share of horror stories. Something that I don't share, to be honest, is I've felt like an imposter in many ways. You see, all the properties I've bought so far have been with partners. All the properties I bought so far have had either one or more joint venture partners. The first 2 homes I bought were with my family. They put up the down payment, they put up the credit, and my ownership in those homes was only 25%. Following that, I bought 2 homes with my brother, but then we were 50-50, right? So we shared the down payment, we shared our credit, and then I've bought a few more properties with some of my brother's friends. Again, own 25% of those. So all these deals helped me build some equity, right? Each property, each deal was profitable. They've helped me really build my experience because I've had to go through the tenant issues, the construction issues, all the different challenges. But I've just been left with this feeling that almost like I'm an imposter, almost like I'm not being 100% honest, and almost like I couldn't even be proud of my accomplishments so far just because I felt like if it wasn't for my partners, I wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. So therefore, it's a little bit hard to explain, but it made me feel like I'm portraying myself as someone who's an expert, who's really done a lot in real estate, while I'm feeling that I'm kind of pretending because, you know, the money, the credit to purchase these properties did not come from me. And you know, there's a lot of hard work that went behind each of my partners in order for me to be able to get these deals. So anyways, that being said, I'm closing on a property this Friday. And the reason I feel so excited about it, this is the first property that I'm buying without any partners. So I've been working for the last 5 years, first couple of years to get my real estate license, and then the last couple of years to actually build a real estate agent business, working with investors, creating an income, paying more taxes than I needed to be able to qualify for a higher mortgage amount. And finally, I get to see the end of it, right? So we're closing on this property using my own credit, using my own savings. It's the first deal I'm buying without any investment partners. And I don't know, it's hard to explain this feeling, but I just feel like I did it. I went through these last 5 years and I have something to show for it. And this is, in my eyes, something more substantial than, you know, making a certain amount of money or all of that. It's like I was able to get to this finish line where I can buy a property on my own. And yeah, there's just something amazing about it. Definitely, it came with its own fears, and it was a weird experience as someone who's helped dozens of investors purchase properties and sort of help them through the fears that they go through when they purchase a home. Because I've really been on the other end, right? Whenever I work with a client, I always help them to look at the positives, really help dissect any negatives and fears that, oh, this may go wrong, that may go wrong. That's sort of my role in my work. But this was different because now I'm putting my hard-earned money, I'm putting my credit on the line, I'm putting my name on title. There's no one else. This is my purchase. I had those same fears, and I'll actually share a clip with you that right when I signed the notice of fulfillment, which is the document that removes all conditions, it was a funny experience. I was really feeling this fear where my head was not worried. Like, I calculated the numbers, I ran all the different scenarios of, is it gonna cash flow? Is there different exit strategies? What can I do if something goes wrong? So all of that in my head was done, like overanalyzed 100%. I think I analyzed way too much. But then, so I'm here with the notice of fulfillment of conditions. This is a document I'm going to sign now that's basically going to remove all the conditions for this property that I'm going to purchase. As always, right, whenever you're buying a property, it is very nerve-wracking when you're removing the conditions, firming up the deal. It's an exciting time because you're hopeful for the potential, but there's always that fear at the back of your mind of, what am I getting into? Like, is there something I missed? Is there something I haven't accounted for? So definitely that fear is very real. And no matter how many clients I've helped purchase homes for, no matter how many investment properties I've bought so far, this I think is something that will never go away. It's just you learn how to deal with that fear better. You learn that this is a good thing. It shows that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're taking a plunge and you're hoping to create something, especially with this investment property that I'm buying here is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I have the right people to work with. I have a good team. I have the professionals who have the expertise in the areas that I don't to help me make sure that this is a successful investment. So this is it. You get to see me as I personally go through the process of purchasing a house. So hope this is helpful. There's something that I feel that I haven't felt so far in my journeys, which is that I'm proud of myself, that I'm actually proud of where I am today. And I hope this doesn't come across as arrogant or overbearing or just talking about myself too much, because that's not the intention. I really want to share this because this is something that's been nagging at me, this feeling of being an imposter and not deserving what I've accomplished to this day. This property and this feeling that's come with the purchase of this property of like, I own it. I've done this. This last few years of work has paid off. And if you're in the same situation and if you're, struggling to increase your income, to set aside money to save for your first home, keep at it, right? It's definitely a long journey, especially it's funny, right? Because I'm a millennial, I'm 24 years old, and definitely we get a bad name for most millennials do in terms of not working hard enough, not saving our money, not being diligent, either living with our parents or not living with our parents and spending too much money on rent, on avocado toast. And anyways, the point I'm trying to get to, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's such a hard feeling to describe because logically it's in my mind, I already own 10 properties. Like my mind has gone into the future. This is what I'm going to do, all the steps. But how I'm feeling right now is I can finally call myself a real estate investor without feeling like a fraud, without feeling like an imposter, and really own it. This feeling can lead us to get into partnerships that don't make sense. This feeling of being an imposter may make us do crazy things like sell off all our rental properties to go on to the next venture. There's a lot of things that we do to sabotage ourselves when we don't feel like we own our accomplishments, we own our progress. When we feel like a fraud, we then easily give it up. We easily give it away, right? When we really should almost be kinder to ourselves, to really say, yes, we've done well. Bit of a rant. Hope this wasn't too strange. It's a little bit different from my usual content, but my coach actually pushed me to really dig deeper, right? And to make these videos more about how I really feel. And this is something that it's big to me, right? Because our emotions and how we feel is not something talked a lot about in real estate investing. This is like most real estate investors only focus on the numbers, spreadsheets. Does it make sense? This is a business, right? And then at the same time, how we feel makes us decide on massive decisions that are not logical, but we find reasons why it makes sense. And we sabotage ourselves a lot. Even if we don't sabotage ourselves and push ourselves to hyperactivity where we go all out, take on a whole bunch of debt to buy multiple properties, over leverage ourselves, and go hyper in the other direction, we're still not left fulfilled. We still feel like we haven't done enough. We haven't made it. That can also lead to a lot of self-sabotage and definitely a lot of relationships affected in that process. So anyways, I'm super excited. Really want to thank all of the members of my team, my mortgage agent, my home inspector, everyone who's helped me create the income that I needed to be able to qualify and actually help me on this purchase. It wasn't easy. I got qualified for one mortgage that I didn't like, and then I firmed up the deal without having the mortgage approved for this purchase that I wanted to get. And then we had to like switch the deal around to get that. Anyways, it's a story for another time, but super pumped, super excited. And yeah, closing on this first deal, this new chapter of actually feeling like I'm a real estate investor. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't go too far off the cliff. And if I did, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, until next time, all the best.